heard, also known as MC Chill, Cleveland's first national rap recording artist. And you hear my voice running all through that first segment.
What's up? My name is JayKool. Kind of the brainchild of all this is me. I kept asking people, hey, we need to shoot a doc. Hey, we need to shoot a doc. Somebody need to shoot a doc. And it ended up being me. So thank y'all for coming out, and I'm really glad to make something that Cleveland can be proud of.
Hello, I'm Stacey Malone. I am the co-director. I was brought on the project about 2 years after Jay started. Very privileged to be a part of this project. It was great because I really didn't know a lot about the things that we covered, being from Cleveland, which is sad. And I'm glad to be able to, number one, I was glad to learn all the information that I did. And number two, I'm glad to be able to share with everybody. So.
And she's the president of Women in Film, and get you a woman on your set if you're making a film. Women are important.
Yes, yes.
Very much so.
Yes.
The whole complex changed when I brought Stacey on.
Yeah. Hi, my name is DJ Doc, and I came up in the 90s hip-hop, so I'm the next layer. And to be honest with you, for me, looking back, we need to hear this history because there's so much I haven't even heard, not even to mention the students now, like the teenagers now. But I started Refresh Collective. Again, it's that next wave of hip-hop. We've helped over 14,000 youth in Cleveland and Cincinnati write, record, and perform their own songs. And we're just bringing hip-hop in education, in rehabilitation, in the hospitals, in the school systems, and in the neighborhoods. And I'm glad to just be able to be on stage with you guys today.
Okay, yeah, you know what you're doing with these things. Quick question, 30-minute documentary real quick. What wasn't in it? What else do you want us to know about the hip-hop scene in Cleveland now or before?
Some of the things we wanted to know, just to even kick the party off, just anything. Like, there was no knowledge of documentation of Cleveland hip-hop out here, so just to start from the beginning, like if you do a story on your family, you don't start with your mom and go forward. You go to great-grandma or back as far as you can. So my job was to go as far back as we could and bring it forward.
Anybody else want to?
Well, for us, we have a lot more that we want to definitely share with everybody. This is just episode 1 of, we're hoping, our 12 episodes for a docuseries. We have 4 episodes completed right now that we actually showed at the Rock Hall a couple weeks ago, that we'll be showing again on the 25th.
I'll get your tickets for October
at Silver Spot.
At the Silver Spot.
And we'll have all 4 episodes showing, which we'll talk about. We do a wonderful section on MC Chill, DJ Johnny O, if anyone doesn't know who that is, who's a very instrumental part of Cleveland hip hop as well. And then we cover graffiti and breakdancing. So we're trying to hit all 4 elements of hip hop, and that's a lot of things people don't realize. There are 4 elements to hip hop. It's not just the rap. There is breakdancing, there's graffiti. I know, I learned that. I learned that, right? So that's the things I learned. So there's 4 aspects to it: the DJ, the MC, graffiti, and breakdancing. So.
Before I open it up to the audience, which is really what we want to do, what's next?
Well, tell me how long it took you. Let's do an origin story, Jay.
It did take me 7 years to make. Like I said, making a movie is more than a notion. I started, like, I'll just film some people and the story will just be there, and that ain't what happened. So it took a minute to get together, but like I said, once I got the right people, brought Stacey on, get an editor. Whoever edits out there, I love y'all. Editing is, oh my God, y'all, editing is the most thankless job on the planet to me. And if you don't have a good editor, your movie will be, excuse my French. Yeah, Keith, yeah, we got one of the editors in here. Yeah, if you don't have a good editor, you won't have a good product, and somebody has to do it second for second. So just bringing those people on, actually did lose mom and dad back to back, 21, 22, fighting through that, and just hooking up with everybody I'm really thankful that I got to work with people like Chill. I know these guys, Johnny O, Coach Cheese. I could call them and be like, hey, is this right? Or we need to do an interview. So it was a pleasure on that side to bring this together. And I do got to do a shameless plug, y'all. It was all done on DaVinci Resolve. DaVinci Resolve for editing as well as coloring for me. I'm just saying. Tia?
What was the question?
There ain't no question.
Oh, no, just, you know what? I will say, origin story. When JayKool first called me and said, Chill, I think I'm going to do this hip-hop documentary. I'm going to need you. I said, man, let me tell you something. If I sit down for another documentary that's not ever going to come out, you can miss me with that. He said, Chill, I'm telling you. I said, JayKool, I've been through 20 people interviewing me for documentaries over like a 20-year period, and as we say in the neighborhood, none of them came out. So, but Jay was the man on the job. He drugged this, he birthed this into fruition, and then when Stacey came on, it was a game changer. And for something that's part of my legacy, watching this and seeing, because I'm right there with Coach Cheese as it's happening, as I said in the documentary, this changed my life, it changed his life, it changed the course of what was to become Cleveland hip hop. And I appreciate JayKool, Stacey, Roy, and everybody that took part in bringing this to life.
Shout out to Roy, too. It's our EP.
Yeah. And that's one of the things of the film is to celebrate our pioneers. New York is not going to talk about us. Virginia is not going to talk about us. Atlanta's not going to talk about us. We have to talk about us. If we don't tell the story, it's never going to get told. So, and just to add a funny one to the footage, to the story, Chill told me exactly what he just said. So we filmed, and somebody took all the footage. And here to start off, hey Chill, I need to start. See, JayKool, that's what I'm talking about. So it was a pleasure doing this. It's a documentary on the documentary to me, but glad that we got it done, y'all. Right. It's a pleasure to be able to present it. And like I said, we definitely will be showing it again on October 25th at the Silver Spot. And the last time you can see it before a big fish swim in. If any big fishes out there, we are available. We're just throwing it out there.
Throw that out there.
Any questions from the audience?
Hi, let's just come over here so I can see you. I love this film, and thank you very much for. I fell in here by accident because I was showing another film, and I just wanted to say, so it's very humorous, very interesting. I learned a lot. My son is 17, and he has started listening to hip hop. For some reason, it's getting really like the old, that you're talking about. So there's a real big market for this. I think people are like the younger generation. If there's any in here, no offense, that are super interested. So the question though I would have for you is, so this is the Cleveland hip hop scene, which is awesome, and I love the whole Cleveland. There's a lot of local pride in Cleveland, and my sister's family's from here, so I feel it all the time. And but I don't know if it's really available in the film to understand this, but how are you different? How is the Cleveland hip hop scene different than obviously New York, but the ones you mentioned? And did you want to address that? How do you think it's different? How does it stand out? And if there is a Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in Cleveland, which we know, and we've been there, and it has a hip hop section, are you working with them to sort of get this film in there, or to name your local talents to get you in? That doesn't make any sense if you're not in there. So those are my two questions. And the third one, so sorry, I'm just like become a fan. I'm making also a music documentary, but it's about a world music group in Hungary, so totally different subject. But as a filmmaker, it's really hard because, am I making a concert film? How much of the music am I going to be putting in there? And you don't actually have that much hip hop in it that you let roll. So you could expand it. For me, it's missing because I'm not as familiar with it. mean, I'm originally from California, but it was not in my horizon. But it would be super cool for the non-hip hop people, because your film is super accessible to non-hip hop people, really good history, to have more of the music in there, or more visuals, more of the rapping, or just because I always want to hear it when someone talks about it, and you're saying this great story, and I'm like, okay, where's the music? So that would be super cool if you could, for us, somewhat outsiders, because it's fascinating. Super. So anyway, those are 3 questions, sorry.
Yeah, me too. I forgot all of them, but hey, look, some of them, one of them, to your point, that was one of the hardest things about doing this documentary, especially in Cleveland, was getting a hold of some of that stuff. Like, we played the original 81 rap that was there, but like, I think as Clevelanders, like, if we was out kicking it or something, and I put all the cameras, somebody be like, what you doing? So, there was no pictures of Veils, the Spectrum, the Plush, the Q5. There was no pictures of none of these places. Only people that had like older footage was like Chill. As far as the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame goes, hip hop getting in there is progressing is the word I would like to say. It's not open arms. So we did have a premiere there last week that went very well, and they was like, hey, y'all probably need to have this in the Midwest wing of the thing. So that's moving. The project is growing legs.
Other question was Cleveland compared to other cities.
I think just our specific history, like even like nobody had a WDMT, so like just us telling our history, a DMT, they didn't have a Cochise. I wasn't able to go to a Cool Herc party or a DJ Red Alert party, so I had to go to a Johnny O party or watch Chill perform. That's what makes our story different from everybody, because every city needs to do this. Like Indianapolis or San Antonio, only story that's being told, the reason I told this is because I kept watching docs, there was no Cleveland in there. And I'm like, so.
Like how Cleveland hip hop is different.
Yeah, I do, and I just want to add one thing to the end, and JayKool can probably connect on some of the other things that you asked in your last question. But as far as there's not a lot of rapping, and this is the first segment, but one thing that I asked JayKool that I really, as one of the original 2 people that started Cleveland hip hop, I told JayKool, if you're making a hip hop documentary, you have to promise me that it's not all about rap, because as Stacey just got through saying, hip hop has 4 main elements, and I said, which starts with the DJ, and thank God the first segment started with the DJ. Hip hop itself in the Bronx started with the DJ, DJ Kool Herc, DJ Grandmaster Flash, Grand Wizard Theodore, who you saw in this documentary. Matter of fact, it doesn't say it on the documentary, but Grand Wizard Theodore is the person who invented the record scratch. So when you hear DJ scratching on the record, Grand Wizard Theodore is the inventor of that. But by all means, it started with the DJ. So, yes, you're going to have rapping because that dominates the hip hop field. But you have to have the B-boys, the break dancers, and you have to have the burners, the graffiti artists. And I wanted to make sure, I'm like, JayKool, you have to promise me that you get all 4 elements. And if anybody gets a chance to see the first 4 segments, he did a phenomenal job of keeping that promise.
Yes, absolutely, yes.
In the back with the hat. You got more to say?
Oh, no.
I once met Left Eye Lopez. It's a bit of an involved story when she was dating a Browns player. I didn't know that was her when I kind of walked up to her. She was just wearing overalls, and she was just so beautiful. I mean, it was just, and she kind of, and I know why they called her Left Eye, because I experienced it kind of, and then she kind of called off her bodyguards because they started approaching, and she kind of made a motion with her hand. And so I talked to her for a while, and then she told me, I said, oh, what are you, just what are you doing? You're from around here? She said, I'm dating a Browns player. Then I understood
when we first start filming, that's very valid, and that's just across the board for women, period, in general. When I first brought Stacey on, that was the first thing. She was like, boy, this is man heavy. Where are the women at? And it's a story to be told about that.
And one of our episodes.
Yeah, that's one of the, that's coming.
The
women of hip hop.
About a lot of things that women did have to go through back then, breaking into a male-dominated industry. So we do touch on that in one of our episodes later on that we talk about just, for studio time. And sometimes it wasn't so nice the things they had to go through. And sometimes, I'm going to say that in a nice way.
Yeah.
But that the struggle they had to go through. But we try to touch on all aspects of hip-hop.
And that's not even specific to me to hip-hop either.
Yeah.
Just women in general.
Okay.
Go ahead. What's your question?
Oh, so my question for you guys is, when I'm working in classrooms now, running hip hop programs in like schools, we'll ask the students like, why do you guys listen to music? Why do you listen to hip hop? And I've always had this answer, but last year it was the most striking to me because in one particular ninth grade class, every single student in the class raised their hand and said the same thing. I went around the whole class. Every one of them said, I listen to hip hop for therapy. I listen to hip hop to get through my day. I need that. And my question for you guys is like, in your time, when hip hop was starting in Cleveland, what do you think? Maybe you guys might answer, or everyone that was kind of with their, recording what was happening on the radio, on the cassette tapes. If they raised their hands at that time, what would they say? Why were they doing hip hop?
I think, and you heard me say in the documentary, at the moment that JayKool refers to Ground Zero, the game changer, when Coach East was on the Club Style show, that was the first fulfillment in Cleveland of a united hip-hop culture. There was different pockets, but of those people, those other pioneers that you saw, you heard me say my life was changed, Coach East's life was changed, but you see Spoonie T, who's the Dr. Spoonie T, who's the principal at John F. Kennedy High School. DJ Johnny O went on to become a major contributor and union boss. Mike Chapman, who produced my album, who's in there, is a multi-millionaire, very successful. But a lot of those pioneers, now a lot of us, got caught up in some things and may didn't turn out well. But it was a stepping stone for a lot of us. It was the entrance. I became, I've been a journalist for over 30 years. I just turned over the reins as the president of the Greater Cleveland Association of Black Journalists. Started my own nonprofit, My Cool Solutions. But my journalism career got started because of hip hop. I ended up being the president of the Call and Post newspaper, which is a 100-year-old newspaper. And it all started because of hip hop. And a lot of people that you see use that as a stepping stone, but a foundation, because that hip hop is always in you, especially for us that was there at the beginning where it wasn't any money. We weren't doing that for money. I'd say in the song, MC Sora, to want it so bad you would do it for free. I didn't mean that I wanted to keep doing it for free, but it gave us the energy, and I think that comes across in part one of the documentary, that this culture not only was something special to New York and later the world, but specifically in the land, in Cleveland. And like JayKool said, this is our story. I don't know if I answered your question, but it gave us the energy, the love, the resolve to do other things, but we still kept it inside of us.
Like, you have to think about them. Like, one day, I love when you say this. One day there wasn't hip hop, and then one day they woke up and there was hip hop. So that's, you have to think about that aspect for them. Like, I don't know a life without hip hop. I was born in 81. 81. So before, like, that contest happened 2 months before I was even born. But how it's just grown. I mean, like, something that people thought was just a passing fad is celebrating 50 years now. No one thought it was going to last 50 years.
Yeah, in the back, the lady with the glasses. Anywhere you want to go, but
Is there a recording of that first Cochise set that he did
Yeah, I'm telling you, that was one of the problems with the doc.
Yeah,
Like,
you were lucky to find
I don't even know who Coach Cheese has.
yeah, right, right.
Yeah.
There's some things missing.
Yeah.
But maybe when people see the documentary, because I'm telling you, the entire city of Cleveland was recording that night. So somebody had it.
Somebody got it.
No, you know what, y'all? I'm telling y'all, that's why this doc is so big. I was checking everywhere, the library, the Step Out magazine, and everybody was like, well, either I don't have it or it's undigitized in a garage full of negatives or something, and you have to go through everything to find it. But there was very little documentation. Like it was gold when we found it.
I couldn't tape it because I was there. But if I'd have been home, I'd have had to tape.
First of all, thank you for all of us, the fans, the people that grew up with the gold Maxell tapes. Remember those? Gold. That was equivalent to us, that was top of the top. I wanted to say thank you guys for that story, telling a story of a culture, just the culture of the story of a people. Thank you. First question, are you ready for what's next?
Yes.
Are you sure? Because you guys have awakened Godzilla. It's time. It's time to tell that continuing story. And on another note, in 1982, I think was the Fresh Fest 1, Omni International in Atlanta, Georgia.
Yeah.
I was there as a dancer.
Nice.
I got in as a dancer from one of them tapes at WDOT.
Yes, sir.
I had
Yes,
the big
sir.
boombox. I still rock my deals. So again, thank you guys. Thank you. Be ready for what's next because it's way bigger than this.
It is growing legs too, I can tell you.
Somebody behind you, or you can ask a question.
I'm here about to say, my man over here, been here. I saw him
Right.
first.
Listen.
Yeah, all right, so I wanted to ask, when looking at the doc and hearing y'all talk, it sounded like back then, like when hip hop was first coming to Cleveland, it was a little more unified back then. So I wanted to ask this question, with hip hop today in Cleveland, how it is, we don't really got a lot of unity as far as our artists and people coming together, just, put on for the city. So I wanted to get y'all opinion on that, like hip hop scene right now, and where it's at right now in Cleveland.
Yeah, we working on it.
Well,
I mean, go ahead.
Well, the thing that we kind of found out, because that was a question I had coming into it, is like, we have all these amazing artists that we talk about. Why aren't we like Atlanta?
She sure did.
Why
like
aren't we like New York?
And I had to tell her what you was saying.
And it basically is like what you think now. It was that back then. It was just like that. Like Collinwood don't mess with Glenville. Up the hill don't, So if you can't get people to support in the round neighborhood, and I think someone told us a story when we were doing it that they had record execs come in here. Bone comes in here, sets it all up. Record execs come in here. They say, okay, who's the artist in Cleveland? And then you're getting 14, 15 different. There's not just one they can go to. So the scarcity of unity is what has. I know, right? I thought was exactly why we're not as big as we should be. But our impact that we've had from just in history, like JayKool with Outkast. A lot of people don't know freestyling from Cleveland. People don't know that. So those are the things that we try to tell those stories. But yeah, that's kind of the problem is we can't unify enough because people, I'm not gonna support them because that's not my neighborhood, that's not my hood. So if we can get past that, we could be a metropolis.
And by making the doc, I was able, I'm proud of myself and the team, we was able to cross those lines. Even nobody told me no. Like I know this person didn't mess with this. I went to both sides.
And he's the only one that could tell the story and I told him, I said, you have to be on the camera. Because he didn't want to be on. He didn't want to be the host. He didn't want to be the narrator. And I was like, Jay, you're the only one that can tell the story.
Yeah.
Number one, he knows everybody, and he's the one that can go to every different city and be able to get the story.
And that was my pitch, kind of like what you were saying. Like, hey, y'all, nobody's never did this. Let's cut down the hate or the, the angst.
Yeah. Because the crabs in a barrel.
Yeah.
Let's go with him back there because he's been having his hands.
Yeah, I saw him first. I'm sorry. Let's just
real
quick.
quick.
Right there.
And then we'll go back to Joe.
getting ready to move to that side of town.
We got you. We got you.
Thank you. I really want to thank you guys for making this documentary. 40 years ago, I came to Cleveland from Iran. And one thing I learned is in life, if you're going to be successful, either you have to be incredibly desperate or inspired. This city, every time I look, we have the highest opioid death. We are the poorest metropolitan town in the United States. We need heroes just like you guys.
Yes,
You guys are heroes. When things get tough, remember what Divine said, the ones that have been given much, much is expected. Fight it, please. Be heroes to all the young and old people because we need you. And I'm so proud of you guys for what you have done. And the inspiration and coming with this documentary will live on and spread that, please. We need you guys. God bless you.
Thank you so much.
Just a young lady had a question earlier. Just want to clarify something. She's doing a film. She asked about the music. She was asking a question about the music. There's a lot of resources online when you look at where they have to get clearances in regards to music. And there's some, I get some things that Baldwin Wallace, I think, has like a music business class or what have you. And I think the Cleveland Film Commission, they have workshops and seminars and stuff like that. They're very informational, things that you can understand about clearances as far as music, and you can tell the story. A lot of times as artists, you're in the art part of it, but you want to get you a team of people to help you with the business side of the music. So this documentary has a lot of subculture stories in there, and these guys have done an amazing job of just presenting that. So stay with your film and still continue to be inspired.
Anybody else?
I just got a couple of statements and then a question that you may have sort of answered already. First, I love the fact that you guys brought this film, that you brought it to Cleveland, and I hope you can just go into these other major cities and continue showing it because Cleveland deserves to be heard.
Yes.
This is the home of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and Museum, and this is part of the culture. Another statement I wanted to make was, I don't know if anyone else in the room is aware of this, but Crazy Bones was in the news recently. He's in the hospital. He's very sick.
He's out.
He's out of the hospital?
Yep.
Okay, good. Okay, so then my question is, you have some amazing archival footage and stills and radio clips here and there, snippets. How did you get access to all of this stuff? It had to have been, a huge process.
Yeah.
YouTube with some stuff.
It's
And
like 50
Yeah,
some people,
just
yes,
digging.
people and
Yeah, knowing the people,
hoping.
staying persistent.
praying.
Yeah. Luck.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I think I've been to the end of the internet in my life. So
Yeah.
yeah, it was that was one of the bigger struggles for sure. Like I'm telling you, there was no people like you'll meet somebody like, hey man, give me an old picture of yourself. They're like, well, I moved 4 times and we lost everything, or my baby mama tore up all my stuff, or my mother house actually caught on fire, so I had no baby pictures of nothing. Everything was gone. Johnny O's like, I got nothing. Chill, he was like, Chill was one of the people that was archived, so that was cool.
Yeah.
He had some stuff, but yeah, that was just one of the tougher things.
YouTube was a big help too.
Yeah.
Okay, and the thing I want to add real quick, because I guess that was your last question, but when you're in it in real time, and you're not thinking about this as going to be history, when you're actually living it, you don't. God, I wish I did take pictures and footage of everything that I did and all the people I met. Well, I do have a lot of pictures of people that I met, but you don't really know that you're living history currently. And that's something that I would tell everybody, every artist who's starting, you're living your history right now. Please, please, please document it, because it's like, you know, like we just got through saying about the Club Style show with Coach Cheese. I could feel that history was happening while it was happening, but I didn't have sense enough at the time to hold on to a recording of it, because it's not really history until later on.
And again, back then no one knew how long it was gonna last. You know, so to think, oh, let's make sure we keep this so that 50 years we can show this again.
Okay, to wrap this up, Stacey, you keep mentioning different sections, different parts of this, future parts. Where can we follow you? Where can we all see this and keep finding what's going on?
Well, the 25th at Silver Spot, right down the road, at 6 o'clock, right? 6?
It starts at 6. Movie
Starts at 6.
6:30.
Yeah, we will have all 4 episodes. So we'll have this first episode that we showed. We'll have episode 2, which is on Johnny O, and talking about how he kind of was. If people know who Master P is, he was like Master P before Master P, in a sense. And a union guy for DJs. And then we do MC Chill, talk about his origin story, the first non-New Yorker ever signed. And that's significant because the rest of the country, if it wasn't for him, maybe the rest of the country would not have gotten signed. So that's significant. And then we talk about the 2 other elements, which is the graffiti scene we had here and the b-boy scene that we had here, and how that touched. Because our main thing about the film is that we want to show that our impact is bigger than our image. You know, so that's where our constant point through the film is just our impact. This is how we impacted. This is how we impact. So that's a good way to find us. You can find us on Instagram. We don't really have a 216 page. We probably should, but because we've been so busy like editing and making the film that we didn't do social media. We don't have a social media team. So you can follow either Jay. What's your social media?
JayKool 44108 at Instagram.
Yeah, and mine is Stacey Malone Film and Instagram.
And I won't be there on the 25th because I'll be in Egypt. But I have a record coming out next week called It's Lonely at the Top. No, I'm just playing.
Okay, guys, this truly was amazing. As I say, I've been doing quite a few of these films, these documentaries. Great job, really, you know, interesting. Keep doing what you're doing and get these people doing it. Yeah.
We got merch too. We got
we
shirts.
do have the shirts. I don't have a shirt on. But we do have shirts, 216 underneath the shirts we have too if you guys want to purchase those.
Are you having them ready, right here?
Yeah, we have them with us right now.
Okay, there's your chance. Thank you, everybody.
All right, thank you.